Guys, it's Shannon, and today I have a what to keep in your travel makeup bag. So I've been traveling a lot lately. I've kind of traveled a lot my whole life, and so I feel like I've really got my travel makeup down. Pretty much just what to keep in your travel makeup bag, and I will be taking more makeup than the average person would usually bring on a trip. I'll explain that more in detail in the video. So yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, you need a travel bag. So my bag is from Sonia Kashuk and I got it at Target. I believe it was like $24. And also you could just use just a basic square one. Mine just has pockets in it. And so I'm gonna start from the base up, like as if we were actually doing our makeup. Okay, so to start off, you're going to need a face primer. So I'm just bringing a travel size of the Smashbox primer, and any primer will do. Usually primers are fairly small size, so it's not a problem unless you're really limited on space. Then a concealer, and for traveling, I recommend bringing something with some sort of doe foot applicator. This is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and instead of having like a little tub that you have to dip your finger into, or a pump where you have to pump it and then take a brush and do it. This is really easy because you can just put it right directly on your skin and then pat it in with your finger. Then you're going to need a foundation or a BB cream. And these are two products that I've mentioned in several videos, or in like a tutorial and favorites. So my foundation that I will be bringing, or that I recommend, is the Sephora Pro Airbrush Foundation. This was in my monthly favorites. I really like it. And basically any foundation will do. But then for BB cream, I would take my Bare Minerals Prime Time BB/primer cream. So if you didn't want to bring a primer, you could bring something like this where it's a primer and a BB cream all in one step. So it's like one product instead of having to bring two. Next up is brows. So brows are such a staple in my opinion because they frame your face, and whether you're filling them in or just using clear brow gel, I feel like I always need to bring some sort of brow product with me. So to fill in my brows, I would bring like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, because one side you have a spoolie and on the other side you have a little, like a little crayon to fill in your brows. So it's once again a 2-in-1 product. Then I just bring some Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to keep my brows in place. Now blush. Blush is a tough decision because there's so many blushes that you could bring with you, and you're like, what if I want a pink one? What if I want a shimmery one? What if I want a matte one? What if I want a nude one? What if I want a red one? And there's so many colors, and it's crazy, and it's very overwhelming. So what I recommend is bringing 1 to 3 blushes, which sounds like a lot, but there's ways that you can shrink that down. So there are blushes that have like compacts that have half one color and half the other color. They have it in palettes, so if you have a my dog is like coughing. Okay, anyways, what I recommend is bringing a more like nude neutral blush and then a brighter blush. So for my more neutral blush, I would bring the Tarte Energy blush, and this is basically, it looks nude, but it's like a peachy pink nude and it's matte. So if you want something just more neutral, I think this is really perfect. Okay, the next blushes I recommend bringing a cream blush or another powder blush. So the other powder blush that I would recommend is this Urban Decay Afterglow blush in the shade Fetish, because it's brighter pink, but it's still pretty neutral and it's very buildable. So I'll kind of build it up a little bit. So I know it does not show up on camera, but it's a fairly, not a bright pink, but it's brighter, I guess, and you could build it up. So you can have like just a nice light wash of color, or you can make it stronger. And then if you want something with shimmer, I have this Stila Aqua Glow watercolor blush, I think, and this is in the shade Rose Water, and it's a cream type formula, and it looks really scary, but I promise it's not. But it has a slight shimmer to it, and if you have dry skin, this is really good because it's going to moisturize your skin, and it'll give you a nice sheen to the cheeks. Okay, bronzer. So whenever you're traveling, I recommend just bringing a plain not flat, but just a plain matte bronzer, because you don't want to be really over shimmery and you don't want to have to deal with a product that's really intense. So you want something that's light that you can build up. So my bronzer that I've been loving recently is the Tarte This is Park Avenue Princess, and this is really, really good for fair skin. If you want something a little bit deeper, I know that if you want something a little bit deeper, Stila has some, Hourglass has some, but they're really pricey. Too Faced has a large selection of bronzers, so whatever like plain matte bronzer I recommend for travel. Highlighters. Highlighters are a difficult subject because you want to bring your you want to bring highlighters in all different shades. At least that's just me. I don't know if that's just me, but you want like Champagne Pop and Moonstone and Hourglass and like all these different crazy like things that you want to bring. And really, in reality, you are only going to end up using one or two of those. Maybe only even one. Maybe you won't even wear a highlight when you're traveling. But there are alternatives to bringing all of them. So I love bringing this to travel, the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders, but it's so big. Like, look at this. It takes up my entire cheek. And honestly, not everyone has like that much room in their makeup bag, and it is beautiful. And the great thing about it is it's sturdy and it's not going to shatter, but it's too big to take. So I recommend taking maybe a Becca one. This is in the shade Moonstone. This is one that I bring with me, and quick tip, I just take a little cotton round and place it, I just take a little cotton round and place it in the compact, and then when I close it, it just gives the product a little bit extra protection. Okay, then you're going to need a powder to set all of this craziness that's going on in your face. But the powder I've been really loving to take with me to travel is the Rimmel Stay Matte. And it's just a basic powder, but like I know that the Laura Mercier powder it's one of my favorites now, especially for people with dry skin. But it comes in a big compact, and you can get a little one, but it's loose powder and it's difficult. So I recommend getting something that has a it's a pressed powder. And this is pressed powder, and it's from the drugstore. So it's not like I don't care if I break it, but it won't be as big of a loss as if I brought my Laura Mercier and the powder spilled out everywhere, and I wouldn't be able to replace a $35 powder. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Moving on to eyes. Eyes are also another difficult thing to travel with because you want to take all of your singular eyeshadows and all of your eyeshadow palettes, and it's never going to work if you do that. Primer for your eyelids. Now, honestly, when you're traveling, you don't need to bring a separate primer for your eyes. You can just use concealer or a little bit of foundation or a cream eyeshadow. And so you don't need one. If I were going to bring a primer with me, I'd bring the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but I've just been bringing my MAC, I dropped it, my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and this is basically just a really good base, and it's going to help my eyeshadow stay, but like I said, you can use concealer. Okay, now, deciding what palettes to bring with you is extremely difficult, because I don't know why, it's very, very difficult. And so what I recommend is having a palette that has neutrals, maybe with shimmers, and something colored. So neutrals and colored are the main things that you're going to be using. Now, if you know that you will never wear color on your eyes when you're traveling, or that you just don't wear color on your eyes ever, then don't bring a palette that has, or any eyeshadows that have color in it, because it's just a waste of space. So for my neutral palette that I recommend is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. And what's really great about this palette, I mentioned it in a haul, but it has cool tones, neutral tones, and warm tones. So you get everything all in one palette. And it is fairly large, but it's slim and it's very sturdy feeling. But if you wanted a smaller option, I recommend the Urban Decay Naked Basics, or I know that Wet n Wild has like the Comfort Zone palette. So something that I recommend for color is the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveler palette. And you could only take this palette if you really wanted to. Okay, so it has neutrals, and it has shimmers, and it has colors. It has blue and pink and slick gold, and it has black. So really all you would need is something like this. And it's sturdy and it's really small. So you only need to take this one palette if you want. So something that will cover your bases of like neutral mattes, shimmers, and color are the three bases that you will need to cover. And you could also make a Z palette. So you could just get the little ones that are like 9, they hold like 9 eyeshadows, and then fill it with the eyeshadows that you would need, and boom, that's all you might need to take with you. Okay, so now brushes. If you're a hoarder like me, you might end up taking all of these brushes. And it's crazy, and no one needs to do that. Don't do what I do, people. So, we're going to go through the brushes that I think you need. The first one is foundation. Now you can either use a foundation brush or you can use a beauty blender. And if you always use a beauty blender for your foundation, bring a beauty blender. If you always use a brush for your foundation, bring a brush. That's just what I recommend. Okay, powder and blush brush. Personally, this is from Sigma. This is a powder / blush brush. This is perfect to bring for travel because you can powder your face using one side, and then you can put a blush on your face using the other side, and it's like boom, done, 2 in 1. So for bronzing, I like my NARS like Yachiyo brush, and this is pricey, and you can find cheaper ones on eBay, or just any brush you like to use for bronzing, I recommend. So that is all the face brushes I recommend. If you wanted to bring like a highlighting brush, you can bring, like mine is the Hourglass highlighting brush, and it comes in this cute little packaging, so I feel like it's good for travel, but it's just like a fluffy brush, or like the Sigma tapered highlighter, or you can just use, you could just use the tip of the powder brush actually. You can use a precise eyeshadow brush, just depends on what you enjoy, what you like best to highlight. Moving on to eyes. So I have 3 brushes for eyes, pretty much the 3 brushes that I use every single day of my life. So my first one I got in an Itsy bag, and this is the Crown Brush Shadow and Crease Duet. So I think this is the shadow. It's like just a fluffy brush, and then on this side it's just more precise, so I can use this for my outer V. This is great for brow bone highlight. You could also use this for face highlight or all over the lid, shadows. It's a really good multi-purpose brush. I have a blending and a brush that you like to use for crease colors. So this is just a Sigma blending brush, but I feel like it fits perfectly in my crease, and it's really, really good to just use windshield wiper motions. And then you always need a blending brush, in my opinion, for all your eyeshadow to just be fluid and kind of just look more beauty-ness, I guess. But this is the Luxie 205 blending brush, and it's just a big fluffy blending brush, which I actually got in a Ipsy bag as well. I completely forgot to mention mascara. I think it's because it was in like my little everyday bag, but I recommend bringing travel size mascaras because they're just smaller and easier, and it gives you a chance to try out new mascara made with. I like traveling with mascaras. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It feels so naughty. I just recommend travel size mascara. I mean, it's not a big deal if you end up taking a full size one, but that's just what I personally like to use. Okay, lip products. This is the most difficult thing to choose when you're traveling. And like I keep saying, because you want a red one and a nude one, and you swear the pink one is different from the other pink lipstick that you ever use, because you think it is like extremely different, but in reality they're practically. And you just keep trying to justify it because you just want all your little lip products, and they're just like your babies, and you want to travel with all of them. That's not going to work. Anyways, I think for traveling, it's best to have a nude, a pink, and a red lipstick. Now, if you look bad in nudes and reds, then bring pink and berry tone shades. But if you look good in all 3 of those, bring all 3. But if you're only gonna wear pink and nudes, then just bring pink and nudes. You don't need to bring lipsticks that you're not going to wear. So, my main lip product that I've been loving, well, I just always love it. It's like my favorite lip product. It's my staple, is MAC Syrup. This is my favorite, like, everyday berry pink color. It smells like vanilla. It's beautiful. Like, it's my favorite lip color, so if I don't know what lipstick to wear, that's just the one I wear. Then I bring a liquid lipstick because I always like to have some sort of matte lipstick with me. And this is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Mother. This is really nice to apply because it has a doe foot applicator, so you can just pop it on the lips and you're good to go. Then a lip gloss. This is the Urban Decay, what is this? Revolution gloss in the shade Failbait? Yeah, Failbait. And it's just a nice pink gloss that looks really good over any products. And so if you don't want to wear lipstick, you can wear some lip gloss. Then finally, a lip balm I think you need. So I like whenever you're traveling, because you need to moisturize your lips at night. So I recommend the EOS lip balm, the Fresh Sugar Lip Therapy treatments, or something like this. And this is just a little tub of the Smith Strawberry Lip Balm, and it smells like strawberries, and it's just a lip balm, and it's sometimes a pain to put your finger in and then rub it all on your lips, but hey, if it works, it works. So that's what I think you need to keep in your traveling makeup bag, and you can modify it however you want. Like I said, it's really just up to you and what products you know that you'll use and you know that you're comfortable with, so that when you're traveling, your makeup is less stressful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see, ooh, that lighting. Subscribe if you want to see more videos of me. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye!